This evening, would-be bandit beaten and subdued. Minister Ron Vatan supports more pay for prison guards. 4 Guyanese busted smuggling cocaine. Local charity hosts backpack giveaway. In the region, Bolivia rejects ICJ's ruling, and internationally, death toll in Indonesia rises as search and rescue attempts continue.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Greetings to our viewers in Guyana and around the world. Today is Tuesday, October 2nd, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Starting tonight's edition is news of a young would-be robber whose victims turned the tables on him. Here is Esther Sobers.
After attempting to rob a group of men last evening, one bandit was in for a shocking surprise. The victims, who have yet not been identified, were standing at a shop in East La Penitence when they were approached by an armed bandit known as Tyrone Douglas. Douglas allegedly snatched a gold chain from around one of the victims' neck. As the bandit attempted to escape, he was reportedly subdued and disarmed of a .32 revolver by a group of men. The police swiftly apprehended the suspect, and the gun found on his person was reportedly loaded with 5 rounds of ammunition and a spent shell. And additionally, 6 live rounds were discovered in the suspect's pants pocket. According to the police, the suspect is presently being questioned about several armed robberies, which he will later be placed on ID parade. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. 4 Guyanese will soon be facing court in New York after attempting to smuggle several pounds of cocaine on 3 separate attempts. Here is George Gonzalez with more.
A young mother from Linden is now facing drug trafficking charges after she was busted at the John F. Kennedy International Airport with cocaine. Odessa Edmondson was reportedly traveling with her baby when she was intercepted by U.S. Customs and Border agents on September 22, 2018. During the inspection, Edmondson was reportedly observed to be sweating and acting suspiciously. It was then that the young woman reportedly admitted to ingesting the cocaine pellets. She revealed that she was going to be paid some $6,000 to smuggle the drugs into the United States. Edmondson reportedly excreted over 200 cocaine pellets weighing over 3 pounds. Charges have since been filed against her. And a couple from the east coast of Demerara found themselves in a similar situation. Kurt and Maria Bruni were also busted by U.S. Customs and Border officers at the JFK airport. The Guyanese couple are now facing arraignment in the New York Eastern District Court. Kurt and Maria Bruni arrived in New York from Georgetown on September 23rd. 2018. Reports indicate that Kurt began to act suspiciously while in line at customs. He was reportedly approached by officers to do an X-ray. It was then that his wife confessed to the crime. In total, they had well over 200 cocaine pellets in their systems. The two were also reportedly paid $6,000 for the crime. And finally, on the 20th of September, Luke Kendall was apprehended by Customs and Borders agents as well. He was pulled aside for questioning and told customs agents that he was visiting the U.S. to buy items for his mother's store. He was then questioned further after his mother could not corroborate his story. An X-ray was ordered, and the man admitted to the crime. According to the court documents, Kennard passed out 201 pellets filled with cocaine weighing 3 pounds. He was immediately arrested and charged and is now awaiting court hearings. However, there is no word on how much he was paid. Channel 2 Headline News, George Gonzalez.
Thanks, George. Minister of Agriculture, Noel Holder, hopes to discuss the various bans and restrictions on Guyana's produce during Caribbean Agriculture Week. Wendell Jeffrey has more in this report.
We celebrate the work of our farmers.
Yesterday was the beginning of Agriculture Month, and last week, the Minister of Agriculture, Noel Holder, presided over the launching of the month's activities. The week of November 8th to 12th is the Caribbean Agriculture Week. to be held in Barbados, and Guyana will be sending a delegation. Several of the Caribbean countries have bans and restrictions on Guyana's produce and poultry entering their territories. With that in mind, Channel 2 Headline News asked the minister to say if he will be pushing for those bans and restrictions to be lifted.
You're asking me a funny one. The Caribbean Week of Agriculture is not really about that.
The cabinet minister then went on to explain the activities of the week.
It's really about the agriculture of the region, the entire English-speaking and Haiti, West Indies, getting together and sort of seeing what synergies could be developed. But more important to your question is the Thwarted meeting, the CARICOM trade meeting. Agriculture is held during that week, and that will be held on that Friday, whole day, when all the ministers of agriculture will interact.
Minister Holder said that it is at that subcommittee meeting with fellow ministers that certain problems will be discussed.
And various problems, like you mentioned, honey passing through Trinidad, and getting Jamaica wanting to put feed into Guyana, and we think it might be trying to dump it, and all these things will come out while the ministers get together at that meeting.
Minister Holder could not say what is likely to be gleaned from that meeting.
What are the likelihood? Well, ministers meet, ministers discuss, ministers compromise, ministers decide. I can't tell you what's going to come out of it, but I hope everything we want for Guyana comes out of it. Does that help you?
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, charity donates to children, and Minister Ramjitan supports more pay for prison guards. But first, here is today's foreign currency exchange rates.
For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
Styles. Simply different.
Fresh ingredients and Creole foods at the Cottage Restaurant and Cafe. Finger-licking boil and fry, meats cooked to perfection. No MSG added. We cater for vegetarians too. Breakfast and lunch available fresh Mondays through Fridays. We open 7 a.m. Get coffee, Milo, or our famous power porridge, filled with a blend of indigenous barks, natural fruit juices. Catering services and delivery available. Call 231-4343. Located at 16 Access Road, Kingston. The Cottage Restaurant and Cafe. Bringing back the good old days.
93.1 Real FM. It's your favorite station for the best music from then to now.
'Cause girls like you run around with guys like me to wasted days, spend the night. Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside us. Simple things, them are your blessings, a blessing. Simple things are your.
Every day, all day for real music, real people, and real vibes. Come on! 93.1 Real FM.
Real FM.
The people's choice.
This is what shopping used to be. More plastic bags than I could carry, or I could use. They always end up in the bin, or as unsightly litter. Then it hit me. Get just one reusable bag. Now whenever I shop, I don't use plastic bags. I always have my reusable bag. It makes shopping a lot easier. And it's better for the environment.
Use one less disposable plastic bag. Make the switch to a reusable bag today. For more information, please call us on 226-2189 or 227-8429 or visit our website moc.gov.gy. A message from the Ministry of Communities in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank.
Welcome back. The three men arrested on September 26 at the Kurukuru village for possession of an unlicensed firearm were scheduled to appear at the Providence Magistrates Court today. 32-year-old Kirk Matheson, 28-year-old Kevin Dickey, and 21-year-old Mario Passad, a mother, a sister, and a female partner of the suspects, were yesterday arrested at the Brickdam police station after they collectively offered a sum of money to one of the investigators for the suspects to be released. Their court date has yet to be announced. Local charity Anointed Hearts Foundation is giving backpacks to children in need. Esther Sobers has more.
Providing basic school items for children can cost a hefty sum for many parents. With this in mind, the non-profit organization Anointed Heart Foundation wanted to ensure that some school children were well equipped with backpacks. Last Saturday's bag giving, which was a ticketed event, catered for students of North Romvelt and South Romvelt School, and also children who may just need a bag. Simone Simon, the founder of Anointed Hearts, spoke of what inspired the organization to embark in the kind initiative.
Over the past couple of years for our back-to-school events or the outskirts, we normally do from anywhere to 1,000 to 1,500 children. So we just wanted to actually test the waters in Georgetown to see if the kids really needed this stuff. And as long as we know that our event is needed, we will do much more. So next year we will cater for much more children.
The children and parents were all elated to receive the backpacks of their choice.
Thanks to the backpack, and let me say on behalf of the children in Guyana, we appreciate all that you're able to do, because it seems like we're living a crazy time and very few people take time to cater for the little children. So I must say God bless you, and I hope this continues forever as long as we have little children to cater for.
Anointed Hearts, which was established over a decade ago, has been giving back to persons in need. They also give clothing and other items. The organization encouraged all persons to contribute.
Simone7@hotmail.com, and I can be reached at that email address. Also, a telephone number is 347-285-9317 and 347-444-2644.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan supports calls from certain sections of the civil society to raise the pay of the nation's joint services. Wendell Jeffrey tells us more in this report.
And so sometimes it is not necessary that people spend all that time there. We can do some more remissions. And of course, that requires some amendments, and I rather suspect it will be in our interest, everybody's interest, even the inmates' interest, that they also be released earlier than normal.
Sunday was the launch of the annual Prison Week. Speaking at the church service was the minister responsible for the prisons, Public Security Minister Kemraj Ranjatan. Ranjatan said that he likes the progress of rehabilitation that he has been seeing in the prisons, from what he likened to shock treatment.
Some remarkable developments happening there in relation to rehabilitation. And yes, indeed, a short, sudden shock of imprisonment can settle that which caused that bad behavior and wrongdoing.
The minister said that ever since the beginning of his tenure, the prison proved problematic.
Since being an Minister of Public Security, the prison has been somewhat of a problematic, especially in the context of the two fires.
Ranjithan said that he thinks the prison officers need better salaries because of the kind of work they do.
I must say that it's probably the most difficult of jobs, especially in the context of the salaries you get. It is difficult. And I want to acknowledge that, and I want to concede that. All that I have read, from all that I have researched, it is an extremely difficult job.
The minister suggested that the wealth from the oil and gas will bring the much-needed funds to pay the needed increases in the prison workers' salaries.
As soon as that oil and gas sector come on stream, now that's an extraordinarily high GDP development for 1 year. But of course, that's our luck. It's our blessing.
Also speaking at the church service was Aubrey Rettemeyer, and he delivered an impassioned sermon. He highlighted the biblical story of Israel's failed battle at Ai and drew some practical parallels.
Deployed against Ai. But when they got there, the men of Ai beat them and chased them away. Joshua was then stunned because he could not understand, with some of his best troops fighting less trained, less competent, less capable men, how is it I'm defeated? Men were killed because of one man's greed and disobedience. Fellow Guyanese, if you're working in the system, understand the implications if you were to be in collusion with people and supply them with the things you're supplying them. It has caused death and injury already, and it will not stop except you check your greed.
Minister Ranjithan also joined in suggesting the need for additional prayers.
We also pray to improve our self-morality, if I may call it.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away. After the break, Bolivia rejects ICJ's ruling and tainted bootleg alcohol kills dozens. But first, here is this week's bridge retraction schedule.
.1 Real FM. It's your favorite station for the best music from then to now.
Cause girls like you run around with guys like me to side. Waste a day and spend the night. Tell me, are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside us. Simple things, them are your blessings, a blessing. Simple things are your...
Every day, all day for real music, real people, and real vibes. Come on! 93.1 Real FM.
Real FM.
The people's choice.
Fresh ingredients and Creole foods at the Cottage Restaurant and Cafe. Finger licking, boil and fry. Meats cooked to perfection. No MSG added. We cater for vegetarians too. Breakfast and lunch available fresh Mondays through Fridays. We open 7 a.m. Get coffee, Milo, or our famous power porridge, filled with a blend of indigenous barks, natural fruit juices. Catering services and delivery available. Call 231-4343. Located at 16 Access Road, Kingston. The Cottage Restaurant and Cafe, bringing back the good old days.
Wouldn't it be be nice if we didn't have so much waste to dispose of in the landfill. Well, composting can help us reduce the waste we dispose of by turning our organic waste into compost, which can be used to improve the quality of our soil.
Composting is very simple and convenient.
You can compost using organic waste such as vegetable skins,
or fallen leaves and cut grass and put this in a composting bin or pile.
Compost can help your garden grow healthy plants
while reducing your volume of waste. It's a really good way to keep our communities clean and healthy.
So, let's all start composting our waste.
Find out how easy it is. Call us on 226-2189 or 227-8429 or visit our website moc.gov.gy. A message from the Ministry of Communities in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride taxi service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Styles. Simply different.
Welcome back. Now here's George Gonzalez with the regional and international headlines of the day.
And in regional news, the International Court of Justice has ruled against Bolivia in its dispute with neighboring Chile over access to the Pacific Ocean, a feud dating back to the late 19th century. Landlocked Bolivia lost access to the sea in 1884 after a war with Chile and has tried to regain it ever since. The court said Chile was not obliged to negotiate granting Bolivia access. The ruling, which comes after 5 years of deliberations, is final and binding. Despite the final nature of the ruling, Bolivian President Evo Morales said Bolivia will never give up. And in international news, at least 42 people have died after drinking contaminated bootleg alcohol in Iran. A health ministry spokesman said 16 people had gone blind and 170 had undergone dialysis after trying the tainted drink. In the past 3 weeks, at least 460 people across 5 provinces have been hospitalized, with the youngest victim a 19-year-old woman. Alcohol is illegal in Iran, but bootleg booze is widespread. However, ethanol is sometimes reportedly replaced with toxic methanol in the contaminated drink. The police in the southern city of Bandar Abbas last week arrested a couple for allegedly producing homemade alcohol. And finally, the number of people known to have died in Indonesia in Friday's earthquake and tsunami has risen to over 1,300. The death toll jumped on Tuesday from a previously confirmed figure of 844. The 7.5 magnitude quake struck just off the central island of Sulawesi, setting off a tsunami that engulfed the coastal city of Palu. Police are guarding shops against looters as people desperately search for food, fuel, and water. Officers initially took a lenient approach to survivors seizing basic goods, but some people have since been arrested for stealing computers and cash. Vice President Yusuf Kalla has said the final death toll could be in the thousands, while the Red Cross estimates that more than 1.6 million people have been affected by the disaster. Channel 2 Headline News, George Gonzalez.
Here's your 3D weather forecast. was Channel 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast and tomorrow evening at 7 for more news. For now, I'm Bibi Baka signing out from your newscast saying thank you for staying tuned and to have a blessed evening.